Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest known podcast in the known multi. I am a snowed-in Ashton Lamprey. That is a... You got friction burns on your hands, my guy.
I got what?
You've got friction burns on your hands again.
Oh, no. So you see this right here? I have a bandage and all that. So under here, and I put the first one on Twitter. I didn't put the... All right. So if anyone knows, about the CrossFit Open, we did the first workout this weekend, right?
He's me.
That too. All right. You know how hard it is to deal with this shit? All right. It's difficult. You can't enjoy it with using these. All right. It's not fun. All right. This is rough. This shit is rough. Anyway, but
Vaseline in your life, my guy.
Yeah, right. I had to dip my whole fucking hand in that shit. This shit sucks. Anyway, but we had the first workout for the CrossFit Open, and it was toes to bar. So basically, you grab the bar like a pull-up bar, right? And you basically gotta get your toes to hit the bar, right? It's not crazy difficult, but it's a fucking workout. So doing that over and over and over again, because you had to do a bunch of them, burned the skin off my hands. So I was bleeding and all that shit, and it was pretty bad on Friday. I redid the workout on Sunday trying to get a better score. No, didn't get a better score, and I tore them worse. So I'm doing this because I'm wounded. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it looks rough, my guy. Like,
it sucks, but I mean, I'm only gonna have this for today. Tomorrow, I'll take these off, and then we're good. The skin should be like decently healing up. Actually, no, it's not. It's pretty shitty still.
See, I remember the first time one of the guys when I used to kickbox, he brought his son to come through and train and everything like that. His son was fucking, up to your waist type height, like 5, 6, 7, whatever.
Yeah.
And he came through and that, and some people have this weird thing of, like when they kick, for some reason they slam the foot down afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
I don't understand that. I've never understood it, but he decided to do it, and literally the entire ball of his foot, like it looked like a little a beef burger of like flesh, like it just ripped, and it was literally hanging by the top of just underneath where his toes connected to his foot, and it literally was like that much of a chunk of his foot of the flesh just ripped clean, and it was just blood pissing everywhere. And it's just one of those things that I just think that fucking, like, there's so many gym accidents that happen and stuff like that you just got to think to yourself, God damn, just take it easy a little bit. But you CrossFit guys, you go hard, so.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've never been one to I've been doing CrossFit for 3 years, or training CrossFit for 3 years. This is the first year I did the Open, which is basically, it's kind of a competition of sorts. And I've never done it before, and I finally did it this year, and I was like, look, if I'm gonna, first of all, I've been shitting on it for 2 years. That was the dumbest thing ever. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking find out who's better at working out, bro. That's literally what I think it is, and it really is. All right, but I was like, look, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go in. I'm all in. I'm gonna fucking take it serious, right? Well, I took it serious enough. I'm fucked up. So
go hard or go home, and you ended up going home regardless.
Yeah, I went home either way. I'm fucked up and broken, but I'm looking forward to healing up and being ready for this Friday. So anyway.
I think it's one of those things though that like you've got to kind of get mentally ready as much as physically. So going hard,
dude, you have no idea. I was fucking like pumped the fuck up when I showed up ready to go. I was like, I had listened to like a bunch of like Ray Lewis like fucking videos and shit, like all fucking pumped up and shit. I watched a bunch of like highlight videos, like MMA fighters and whatnot. I was like mentally psyched, ready to go. And then then it hurt a little bit. So what do you can do about it, man? What are you gonna do?
The question is does it hurt more than the ass kicking that Jon Jones just got?
Right. So I know you didn't get to see the whole thing. I know you. Oh, hold up. Okay, Jon Jones on Twitter, not Johnny Bones, but Jon Jones.
Oh, I'm so sick of this dude.
Yeah, but this is fucking hilarious. People keep tagging him and tagging him and tagging him and tagging him. And dude, people don't understand that it's not him. Like, if it really bothers him that much, he needs to just change his fucking screen name or change his.
Oh no, he's loving life now. He's an MMA fan. He gets to go to Bellator and he gets to go in the back and he gets to have front row seats. Only in MMA would that happen. Only in MMA would we turn around and make somebody who was just a fucking some drogal from fucking Twitter who decided to, acclaim fame for it, and now we can't get rid of this fuck.
Yeah. We'll get rid of him, dude. Who do you hate more, this guy or Daniel Cormier?
Front row Brian. Ah!
Let's touch on that. That shit got fucking weird. That shit got weird. Did you see? All right, for anyone who didn't see it, this motherfucker went on fucking Twitter, obviously, and he has a pretty large following.
He's an MMA kind of media kind of guy. Yeah. I
always call him a clown in the most respectful way possible. Like, he makes me laugh, but I don't take him seriously. You know what I mean? But Front Row Brian tweeted out that he thought the shooting in Parkland was a false flag, which is different than it, like, from what I understand now. That's different than saying it didn't happen. He's saying it was set up, right, by the government or whoever, right?
That's no straight booty cheeks.
People went in. They went in. But even people that support him were like, hey, look, I like Front Row Brian. He's a buddy. But what the fuck, dude? Like, they literally were doing that shit all day. Like, hey, dog, I'm your friend, but what the fuck is this? You know? So it was
out of the fake Jon Jones guy and DC, it's probably just DC.
Just barely. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys don't know, you don't know because I didn't like we put it on Twitter. I was clowning this dude the entire weekend because Daniel Cormier was at what was the name of it? That paper,
the Elimination Chamber.
Thank you. Right, because we were talking about so Ronda was on it and she threw Triple H through a table and blah blah whatever the fuck happened. I actually ended up like seeing that segment and I mean I didn't think she did too bad. But anyway, we were talking about DC and then Kane was there, Michael Chiesa was there, Megan. Yeah, Travis Brown, Megan O'Leary's fine ass was there. All those people were there, right? So we were talking about Kane being in WWE. I'm like, you know who I could see in there? Daniel Cormier. And this man went off. He did not want to hear it. He didn't want to hear it. And then I was like, I said, I went off, but my favorite thing was when I said, I hope like he shows up like number 30 at a Royal Rumble when it's in like your town and you're there and no one knows about it. All of a sudden that Lil Wayne song comes up. And here comes DC running down in his little hat and gloves and shorts to the fucking ring, throws his hat out, throws it right at Ash. Ash catches it like, oh my God. You know what I mean? He's got his kid with him. The kid catches it. The kid puts on his hat. I'm a DC fan now. Like,
oh, God.
Like, what?
If there's ever a reason to whoop your kid's ass, it's if he becomes a DC fan.
Your boy's going to be a DC fan. I'm calling it now.
No chance of God's greener. Anyway, no chance.
So we were talking about that. And then
I just want to bring up the reason why we're talking about Cain Velasquez, because Cain Velasquez put on a mask and he loves the hashtags of Lucha Libre and everything like that. And he was saying that he wouldn't mind competing in this ring. How do you feel about Brock? You know, I've already took one belt from you and give you an ass whooping, blah, 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 blah. Which I thought was kind of cool because I was just like, he's the only person realistically who you could turn around and say they were over him. But like, even still now, you'd go, yeah, probably.
Yeah, Kane is the only one that legitimately whooped Brock Lesnar's ass. Like, legitimately, with, like, no stomach issues and all that shit. Yeah, legitimately beat his ass, right? So, of course, fair enough. And, of course, I pointed out, you know, his back's fucked up. There's no way he takes bumps and jumps off the fucking top of the cage or ring and shit. It'd be cool if he did, like really simple shit. But, you know, I think he was just fucking around, just, like, saying, like, hey, you know, fucking pay me.
Hey, he's not going to get paid otherwise, so you might as well do some WWE bullshit.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So
never again is fucking Cain Velasquez. I bet you right now he has one more fight and that's the end of his career.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go if he goes to Dan like, look, I got one more fight. Give me Stipe or DC. Not DC. I don't think he'd fight DC, but Stipe. I don't think he'd fight DC. I just thought about it. I don't think he wouldn't fight DC anyway. But here's that's my point. Is he's fucked up. I don't think he would go to WWE, but Daniel Cormier would and could. So
he's too old to be going into WWE.
Dana White, make it happen. Wait, no, it's not. Vince McMahon, make it happen.
Vince McMahon looks like Dana White, like his bastard stepchild. Like, get the fuck out of it. What's really cool is a little cool story. Vince McMahon was actually going to buy the UFC. Not Vince McMahon. Shane McMahon actually told Vince to buy the WWE, and he said that he didn't think anybody would watch it.
Oh, the UFC?
Yeah.
Oh, to buy the UFC? Yeah. That's fucking retarded. So,
and that was in like 2000 and I think it was 2 or 3.
Yeah. That being said, I don't know if he could have done it better than Dana or the same. It's interesting to think though what would have happened. You know, it'd be interesting.
It'd probably be the exact same.
or it would have been a disaster.
Same shit, really. It's not much better now.
Yeah, it's well, you know, we at least had a few high points, dude. Give you that credit. All right. Anyway, so now we're talking light heavyweights and shit like that. Jon motherfucking Jones had his hearing in California. So the California State Athletic Commission had scheduled a hearing for today, and obviously it went in. Him and his attorney, Makikawa, sitting behind him and shit. Went in to talk about the fact that he failed. Was it 214? UFC 214, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, after knocking the shit out of Daniel Cormier, which this man so joyfully celebrated, he tested positive for PEDs. So he went in for the hearing, and there was a lot of just nonsense, gibberish, right? But overall, his defense was basically like, "Come on, you guys got to believe me. Like, I didn't do this shit. Like, you guys got to believe me." That's basically what his defense was, right? They didn't really contest the fact that he tested positive. But they did contest the intent. That was the whole idea. It seemed like that. I didn't mean to do this shit again. Like, I didn't mean to do this shit for the second time. I did not mean to do it twice. Okay, not at all. That's not me. I'm not a cheater to do it. I'm not cheater to do it twice. So everything's going on, blah blah blah. Your usual hearing until he goes to, and let me get her name because holy shit, was it a genius? This lady is the smartest lady on the planet, and I wish I want to see if I can get her name real quick. I'll get her name later, but. He talks to the first commissioner, and she's this lady, she's like middle-aged looking lady, Asian lady, and she's sitting there, and she goes, they're like, any commissioner have questions? And she's like, oh, I got a couple. She's like, oh, you go ahead. And so she grabs the microphone, she has the microphone in front of her, she looks at Jon Jones just to smile, right? And she goes, good morning, Mr. Jones. And he goes, good morning. But she gave him she almost like I fucked him. Like, which is hilarious to me because I was like, oh, it's a softball. She's gonna throw softballs. Okay. I mean, what the fuck? So she made him all comfortable and shit. Then the questions came in and she went hard in the paint. Holy shit, this lady got crazy. Went in, started immediately asking about dick pills. Questioned him on the fucking cart, the when he hit the pregnant lady. She questioned him on the past failures, and then she went as far back as to go. The UFC gave you a Bentley, right? That you wrapped around the light pole. And I was like, this lady did research. You are so fucked, Jon. You're so fucked. Dude, she went in. Basically, she, showed his character through a questioning. Like, if a good attorney, his attorney was dog shit, because his attorney should have fucking, objected to, 90% of the shit she was asking. Stuff that did not have anything to do with this failure, the reason they were here today. Hey, this motherfucker sitting there flipping through the fucking affidavit going, excuse me, what page are we on? Oh, thanks. And you know what I mean? That's what he was doing. I was like, fire this motherfucker right now. Okay. Regardless. She painted his character as a person that not only does not give a fuck, but is a fucking idiot. Like, she painted him as a dumb human being that doesn't care. That is just a dumb jock, basically. That's what it seemed like.
One of the things that I found very interesting that she did as well was when he turned around and for some reason, he decided to quote Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely baffling because she turned around and went, what has this got to do with what you were talking about? And he turned around and was like, it's just about like changing your like the person you are and improving and making yourself better. And she goes, so how have you actually proven that you've changed? What have you done to change? What can you present as that you've actually done? And he said, well, I feel like I'm not the same person. And he kept on kind of like talking about his character and his personality. And she just turned around and she was like, but what can you actually show us that you've changed? And he was like, I've got a driver now, so I don't drive anymore. And she just went, like, she kind of like tilted her head as if to go, so we can't even trust you to drive. Like, you don't even trust yourself enough not even to drive. So that was pretty funny to me, though.
It was... Oh, okay, Martha Shen Urquides. I mean, she grilled them. I'm going to call her Martha because I can't fucking say the whole last name altogether. But Martha was just fucking Martha. She Martha'd his ass. I was like, boom!
Matt dragged all them.
Dude, it was like, At one point, she's like building him up, and I'm like, oh, here comes the most epic Stockton slap on Jones ever. It's almost like she stood up at the top of the table with her hand up like this, jumped airborne, her legs went backwards, handcuffs, whoosh. It's like Jones' head might as well have just bounced off a fucking table. It was just like anybody that was watching, like I was shooting the shit with everybody. Fucking Justin, Secret Moves. Fucking Ryan Thomas, everybody was. Brad was watching this shit. We were all sitting there going, "Holy shit!" Me and fucking the guys from Cage Side Press on that little chat that we have. Me and especially Jason Payne. Me and him going back and forth, going, "Holy fuck!" Like, oh no, who does no? WWE goes, "Holy shit!" Right? We're both going, "Holy shit!" Like, that was awesome. It was fucking amazing. So, it was amazing, but I'm not happy about it. Like. People were like, not people. One person came at me on Twitter, like, "Oh, are you happy now? Fucking Jon Jones. When we're gonna get Jon Jones?" I'm like, no. And that's why I tweeted out. I said, "We should not cheer this. This is not a good thing. This is an awful fucking thing." The problem is, he brought it on himself. Mind you, he tried to throw everybody into the bus. He went as far as to throw Maki Kawa into the bus, which is hilarious. But here's where I think the weight of this was. First of all, he was fined $205,000 and revoked his CSAC license, right? So what that means he's out for at least a year, so at least 2019 in California, technically.
And then he has to wait after the USADA suspension to actually apply for that license if he chooses to do so.
And that's where the weight of this comes in. During testimony, he testified and admitted to under oath. He said he's required under oath to do these almost like these like seminar things or so, right? That he has to complete. I'm assuming on his computer, right? They sent him this thing. It's an education program. According to the record, he certified that he did it, that he completed it.
Mm-hmm.
At the testimony, he testified, "Yeah, I didn't do that. I'm gonna be 1,000% honest with you. I didn't do that." What are you talking about? My management did it for me. What? That is the equivalent, sir, of like, "Oh, my parents did my homework for me," except a million times more severe. Like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, he's basically admitted that he takes none of this shit seriously. Okay, and that's just a little part of it. On top of that, revealed and basically admitted first. Well, they didn't really admit it. He was kind of like confused, like, "Oh shit, what's the answer to this?" When they asked him, "All right, before at 214, before every fight, every time you testify by USADA, you are required to fill out this paperwork where it says you list the supplements you were taking." And she goes, you didn't list 10 of them. And he was like, "Oh, it's probably like fish oils and protein stuff." She goes, "No." She went fucking brand name by brand name, the shit that he did not list. And he goes, I'm sure your list you have is there is factual, so I'll say yes." Like, what do you mean you'll say yes? Ask her to see. I mean, his attorney was not defending him. Jon Jones was confused. It was the least prepared I've ever seen. Like, you know, Nick Diaz and his attorney, it was the exact opposite of that. Like, the exact opposite. It was the least prepared I've ever seen. That guy should be fired right now. Like, if we don't get a tweet or something like in 5 minutes that says, "Hey, Jon Jones is fired as attorney," they need to disbar that motherfucker. That guy should not have shown his face on the stream because not everyone knows how to hire that guy. That guy's an awful attorney, dude.
He needs to have a word with fucking Nick and say, "Yo,
can I get that number for that guy, please?"
You know you got, like, can we just sort something out real quick?
Right. So it's just all bad for Jon Jones. Like, none of that went well for him. You know what I mean? So now we're looking at USADA. When that's gonna go down, I'm not really sure. I forgot the fella on Twitter that's one of the most connected guys. I have to ask for Ryan Thomas again, who it was that he pointed me to, but he's the guy that kind of knows.
Liam Hughes knows what's going on because he said he missed it and he saw that he got a fine and has to reapply for his license after USADA do their punishments. Is that right? 100% that's right. Obviously, he'll only be able to apply for that license after the actual punishment from USADA has finished also. So you're talking a minimum of a year, a maximum of 5 years, I believe, is the maximum, because they can give a 4-year ban on top of this 1-year ban. So that would equate to 5 years. Then he'll be out of the sport. Yeah,
dude, it was just incredible. Like, all the shit that she was talking about, most of the shit she brought up, most of the shit she asked about, had no relevance whatsoever to the current case. You know what I mean? Why you can ask me about the DUI with the Bentley? We had 2 hookers in there allegedly, and blow allegedly. And
I was going to say allegedly. Let's throw those words out there first, bro.
Yeah. I did. No, I did. I said allegedly. He didn't allegedly wrap his car around a pole, though. He did that shit. That shit happened. So, what does that have to do with him popping for Roy Tier? Nothing. What does the hitting the pregnant lady with the car have to do with anything here? Nothing. Also, by the way, accidentally revealed that he paid almost $1 million in a settlement to that lady, which, by the way, also he signed a non-disclosure agreement. He's not supposed to talk about that shit, and he talks about that shit. So who knows if anything's gonna come out of there? Now everyone knows that lady get almost $1 million out of him. Okay, it's just a fucking mess. It's fucking chaotic. I enjoy chaos, so I was like having a good laugh about it. But overall, it's just sad as fuck to see. But you get the idea and the sense from how the way he was acting, the way he was talking, that he's like, I'm gonna feed them the usual bullshit and they're gonna buy it because I'm Jon Jones. Why wouldn't they buy it? And then once they didn't buy it, he was like, oh shit. And you know who else was watching this shit? Ladies and gentlemen, you're not surprised. The golden fucking snitch was watching this shit. Please believe USADA is sitting back like just you ever get in trouble and your dad pulled out the belt and he takes the belt and he straightens it out, right? Folds it in half. So it's like he starts whipping it. So it's like hits right here and it makes that loud ass noise. Yeah. They're doing that, but they put it under the sink getting all wet, ready to go. So it hurts like a bitch. All right, Johnny, what's up, boy? I heard that shit you was talking. Ain't gonna fly here, bitch. Like that's literally what they were doing. And like, oh, not literally, but still.
It also reminds me of Pulp Fiction where Ving Rhames is like, I'm gonna have some big dudes come through and fuck you up afterwards.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I thought you'd be more prepared for this shit.
Do you think neglecting outside activities, like, you know, we've had the things of like people allegedly taking, you know, illegal drugs. We've had people, you know, like Jon Jones himself, you know, in hit and runs. As far as the sport itself, do you think that this is one of the biggest black eyes or the biggest black eye as far as the actual sporting aspect of it all is concerned? Because obviously for many of years, martial arts and mixed martial arts has kind of culminated to form where we are right now. And a lot of people prior to all of this coming out said that Jon Jones was the greatest of all time. Now that's kind of been thrown out the window, not only because of this, because obviously the amazing things that Demetrius Johnson has been able to achieve, who a lot of people say is the GOAT, but as far as this is all concerned, just purely as a sport aspect, this is like the Lance Armstrong thing. Like we've got somebody of ours, and this isn't even after a long period of time. The sport's very young. Do you think that this is going to be a real black eye for the sport in general?
Look, man, short of someone dying in the cage due to negligence from the UFC itself, that's the biggest black eye. There won't be another big, for every reason you just mentioned. GOAT. Greatest of all time. Not even, he's maybe I think he's like 30 years old, something like that now. I mean, we put him above Anderson Silva. We put him above GSP. We put him above Fedor. You know what I mean? You can say whatever you want about Fedor and the way his record is. I personally have my beliefs about Fedor's record, whatever. But we put him over all those names before he was even 30, before he was even 29. Okay. And now it turns out not only is he, you know, and not only has he cheated, knowingly or unknowingly, I don't know, look, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. You're not, you cheated. That's a cheater. That dude did it on purpose. You don't get popped twice like that just like, you know what I mean? Just by chance. But also he's a fucking piece of shit human being. That's what he revealed to me today. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, we went to go see those kids in New Mexico. He should have. Why? Because he was mandated to by the law. Okay, if you don't go do this community service and talk to these kids, you're going to fucking jail. All right. So it just kind of, it's disappointing and it sucks, but it also reminds me, we're talking about sports. It's the same way they go, oh, the president's not the pope. You know, we're not expecting the president to be a pope and shit. You know, grab chicks by the pussy, whatever. Yeah, Jon Jones ain't supposed to be a fucking pope either. He ain't supposed to be no saint, right? But you can't treat everyone else like shit, like the world belongs to me. Go fuck yourself.
He has a job.
He has a job.
If you were a driver, you're expected to come in sober. You know, you can't drive your vehicle high or, you know, whatever on whatever drink, drugs or whatever. You paid to follow a certain guideline.
Sure.
And that's the important thing that we have here with Jon Jones. It's not about his moral compass and how he carries himself as a person. He could be the biggest sack of shit on his own time, but when it becomes fight camp time, pardon me, and you know he's coming in and he's fighting against somebody, you have to follow the guidelines and you have to follow the rules, and that's the most disappointing thing for me.
It's pretty shitty, man. What can I say? There you go. Hey, I like how Liam said. Liam says it's as if Jimi Hendrix just decided to hit his own hands with a hammer in terms of wasting your own talents. 100% what he did. With his behavior. It's not like he you know, beat 4 guys in a row by punching him in the back of the head and shit. This is just his behavior outside of the cage ruined his career. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty fucking bad, dude. I mean, there's nobody worse. There's nobody worse. You know, a couple other things I want to talk about as far as that goes. At one point, it got really uncomfortable. One of the commissioners goes, because look, he said, you know, Jon Jones had been saying over and over again, well, my management takes care of this. My management takes care of that. My management takes care of that. Oh, I allow my management to sign documents in my behalf sometimes. You're not supposed to do that, but whatever. Or, you know, I guess you can. You power of attorney, it gets really technical. You know, my management does all this shit for me. They took those fucking little lessons that I was supposed to take that I didn't. Now clearly I'm an asshole for that. And you know, he didn't say that, but he is an asshole for that. But at one point the commissioner goes, "You ever thought about changing your management?" With Maki Kawa sitting right behind Jon Jones, and I'm like, "Ooh, that got uncomfortable for both guys." And Jon Jones goes like, "Oh yeah, a few times. I'm just kidding. I would never do that." And then he goes, "I don't think I've." He basically said like he doesn't think he makes too many bad choices when it comes to like the people around him, which when you talk about to anybody that knows, he has like the worst choices of people around him. Like Albuquerque might be the worst thing that ever happened to Jon Jones as far as a professional career. Like now, could it have been the same thing if he goes anywhere else? Could have. But why is it that he goes
though at that point?
But why wouldn't he make a change when over and over again he gets in trouble? Why don't you change something? You know what I mean?
Do you think that we're witnessing again what we see in many other sports, and we're witnessing something where it's kind of that Mike Tyson kind of effect, where we're witnessing people so young get so much success and have so much talent, raw talent, that the world's their oyster, and we have to do better by these athletes in the sense of like we can't babysit them, but these things are going to consistently happen if we don't educate people to be better equipped to handle the pressures that go along with the success that they obtain.
Yeah, look, man. Real quick, I just read something that was hilarious that I completely forgot about, so I got to read it. Cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys know Lane Kidd. Or Ian Kidd. Is it an L or an I? It's an I to be his first name, right? Or the first letter of his name's Ian. I'm assuming it was Ian, just spelled weird. He goes, Jon Jones claims he unintentionally took Tyranobol. He doesn't know where it came from. His expert witness said, based on stuff he read on a bodybuilding website, that Jones probably didn't take it deliberately. That's his defense. I'm not joking. I'm dead right now. He brought this expert witness that he paid like $395 an hour for, to basically say like, yeah, I don't think he did it on purpose. I did a Google search real quick, and that's kind of came up with. And I'm just sitting there going, you paid this man?
Do you think the UFC should have done more with Jon Jones?
What does that mean?
As in the concept of like they should have tried to keep a better eye on him. He's one of their stars.
Should they have?
In retrospect,
maybe you should have tried. I don't think. Look, a guy like Jon Jones, you're not going to make that man do something he don't want to do. You
I
don't think
understand,
John? I
but
mean,
you
look,
can also
Dana
prevent
White.
him from doing certain things like this.
Yeah, but like Dana White's not his dad, or the UFC's not his parents, right? Like I get what you're saying. Should they have done something? Would it have helped? Maybe. But Jon Jones is a man. End of the day, he's his own man. Dana White's gonna, Dana White could be like, look, John, you need to get a driver. You need to do this. Stop hanging out with these fucking assholes. But it doesn't mean he has to do it. This is a
Do you think
personal
in
thing.
combat sports, though, we're seeing this as a regular occurrence?
Doesn't mean anything. Again, they're
Oh,
not boys.
I know it doesn't mean anything, but what I'm saying
Right.
to you is at certain points, if you consistently watch something happen and you don't try and prevent it, or you don't try and alter the pattern, then you're just not at fault for what he does per se, but it's also going to reflect badly on you, and it's also going to not help your business, which is your first and foremost investment. No matter what anybody says, these fighters are employees, and any employee should be, looked over to a degree by their company if they wish to succeed. I'm not saying that they should, look after every fighter, but I'm just saying, and this is wrong, but should they have, with one of their stars, kept someone around him? Just, had somebody just say, right, this is the guy who's going to, look out for you. He's going to be a liaison. He's going to be, a bodyguard of ours who's going to be with you. And you know what I'm saying? Like, just somebody who you could kind of have to be by his side. Just if he's fucked up once, go, whoa, 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 we can't afford this. You're like, at the time, Jon Jones was the only star they had.
Right. But again, it's just, look, man, I get what you're saying. Should we try to prevent stuff like this? Sure, you can educate people, but you can't make anyone do what they don't want to do. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Hey, John, stop doing cocaine. Yeah, okay. That's it. That's what's gonna happen. I mean, look, he's just a piece of shit person. It's just what he showed. I'm going by the evidence. I'm going by what we saw. You know what I mean? Let's take it to a different place, for example. What other sport can, maybe in soccer or football they have something, some example like that, someone that threw away his talent, like in that bad of a case, right?
A lot of these guys, they get forced to go to rehab by their clubs or by their
and that's what the difference is, right?
That's what I'm saying, though.
But he's a contractor, dude. Independent contractor,
I
independent
understand
employee.
But when it gets to the point where these guys are your biggest stars and they're making a lot of money, maybe they're the ones where you need to kind of adjust the different kinds of, because let's be honest, they have different contracts than the other fighters.
Of course. But again,
so implementing that would be no different.
Still, dude, if Megan O'Leary gets a crack habit, I'm not saying she does. She definitely doesn't. She got a fine ass body to do that. But if Megan O'Leary got caught busted doing crack, they send her as
She's not making them 10 million though. She's not making them 50.
That's not my point. No. You're going way too far into the making millions. Because at that point, we got to put Conor McGregor in a fucking cage.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. This is my point. This is what I'm saying.
Right, but what the UFC has, they had nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do.
But they're saying that though as if there isn't, and we could have tried something, but the UFC didn't.
Well, okay, well then we don't know. Well, we don't know that though.
But they didn't do anything because he didn't go to rehab. He didn't go anywhere.
Right. Yeah, didn't he go to rehab the first time?
No.
Yeah, when they caught him with the cocaine, he went to rehab.
Yeah, exactly. Rehab. I'm talking
that doesn't
about
mean anything.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though.
Dude, no, you're not. What you're saying is this. You're saying like, oh, they should have done this. They should have done that. Yeah, they should have done a lot of things. They can't do those things. They can suggest it. That means they're not going to do it.
A written contract for their biggest stars, which they can implement if they want to have it with certain stars, like a code of conduct. It's not hard to implement to your biggest stars. And I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm just saying you've got to implement it.
In hindsight, yeah.
No, but it's not even about hindsight. It's about like when you're looking at the history of sports and you're looking at your biggest stars, you protect your investment. That's what I'm saying.
I know what you know.
About like in hindsight, but I'm saying I see one guy who makes a mistake and he's earning 10, 20 million fighting once. I'm not letting him get away with any more shit. I'm like, right, you've got caught once. We need to reevaluate your contract and implement a code of conduct, because if we don't do this, then we're going to put ourselves in a worse position in the future.
And you got to get him to agree to do that in the contract.
Exactly. But if he wants to keep his job, he's not going to go to Bellator and make the same money. He's not going to go to Rising and make the same money.
You don't think Jon Jones can go somewhere else and make money?
Not the same money. That's not what I said.
Right, but okay. Maybe not at first.
Jon Jones make 1 million going to Rising?
No, hell no.
He probably could make 1-2 million. He really could.
Yeah. But here's the thing. With that being said, maybe he's not making that money right away. Okay. But you don't think if Jon Jones going to Bellator will get a shitload of eyeballs on it?
To a degree, yeah. But what you've got to take into consideration still is if he gets caught for something, he still has to serve a suspension. So if the UFC cut him right now, he's gone for 5 years.
He's going to Japan.
If he fights him in Bellator in 5 years' time,
it's a different man. It's a different man.
Some people will tune in, but is it gonna be the same thing as like he might make a couple million? He's not going to get paid 10 million to fight in 5 years.
But he'll get paid. Okay, here's the thing. We're getting way too far away from the actual argument, though. All right, what you're saying is they implement something in their contract, and I keep fucking pulling out my fucking earbuds. But you keep implement. You say implement. Put something in the contract that says, all right, if you get busted doing this, you got to go to rehab. We got to clean this up. You got to do this, right? You have to get him to agree to it. Okay. Let's say you try to do it with a Conor McGregor, for example. Let's not go too far into the rabbit hole. Conor McGregor, the guy that says the champ does whatever the fuck he wants. Now, first of all, his record shows that he's really good at working with the UFC. Yeah. Not taking anything from that. He's actually really good at that. And he hasn't done anything too crazy. Or at least he hasn't gotten caught doing anything too crazy. Outside of like, what's the worst thing that he's done? Throw some monster cans, maybe get a picture taken in a weed spot somewhere in fucking Europe. Okay.
Jumped into a cage. That's probably the worst.
And that's pretty bad, actually. But still, regardless.
Yeah, I'm just saying, though.
Yeah. That was probably Dana White going like, hey, Conor, let's not do that, please. Can we just not do that? And Conor was probably like a sensible guy going, yeah, you're right. I fucked up. I too much nose candy, man. I'm good. I'm good now. I won't do it again.
God damn it, Eddie.
Now, switch it over to Jon Jones. Hey, John, can we not hit any more pregnant women? It'll be the last time. Okay. Months later. Oh, popped hot the day before the fucking weigh-ins for UFC 200. Can't make weight. Can't fight anymore. Dude, what the fuck? You serious? You gonna do steroids before the biggest pay-per-view ever?
But he admitted to doing coke before that. Before the hit and run.
Now we don't. Times. Right now we don't know whether or not there was anything done with that contract or what. Like we really don't know the ins and outs of what's behind the scenes of the UFC. There could be something. Maybe they said something, he ignored it. You know what I mean? Maybe they said you gotta do this.
48 hours he went to rehab just to put that out there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just the thing with Jon Jones, man. It's a human being that doesn't give a fuck. So I don't think with him specifically. I don't think there's anything we could have done or anybody could have done.
Maybe not.
Right. But you could have tried. Sure. We don't know if they did. We really don't know if they go, hey man, we need you to be here at the spot, and they've just kept under wraps, and they never let it out, leaked it out to anybody. I think what the UFC needs to learn from this though is exactly what you're saying: is a code of conduct for everybody, and it's got to be.
Sorry, go on.
Like it's got to be strict though. Like, hey, Francis Ngannou, bruh. If you get caught doing something stupid, we're chopping some shit off your fucking pay next fight. Don't fucking do this.
I don't think that they've already done it, because if they would have already tried to implement it with him, then we would have seen something with other fighters following on. Because this isn't just Jon Jones fucking up over the course of 3 months, 6 months, a year, 18 months. This has been a common theme for the best part of since 2000. What was the first cocaine thing where he got tested out of fight camp, but he got tested positive for cocaine, so it didn't matter? Was that 2012, 13?
I believe so, 13.
So we're talking over the course of 5 years, and yet nothing's still not been implemented. I don't believe for 1 minute that over the course of this 5 years they tried to implement something and nobody's had it implemented. From the Doom throwing a fucking boomerang to fucking, people getting in fights like on stage and stuff like that. So I'm not buying that they've even tried to implement it, because there's too many things that have gone on for them to have not implemented it with somebody yet over the course of 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And while I agree with you, I understand that, they may have mentioned it, but I don't think they've ever tried to pull the trigger. I think the UFC's always been scared of losing a star, but they end up losing a star anyway. So it's like, it's kind of irrelevant that they might have just said something. I don't think they've ever tried to pull the trigger and tried to implement it on anybody. And that's the problem, because now we're looking at this guy and we're looking and we're going, well, what now?
Exactly. No, and the thing with what you were saying right now with, I'm trying to find the fucking thing. I got this nice little tablet now, but I could do shit when we're on the show. Yep, I got fancy. Fuck it, whatever. Look, at the end of the day, maybe this is my mindset that I think everyone should be responsible for themselves, and he refused to be responsible for himself. And I think that maybe like the UFC said, look, you guys are adults. You know what I mean? Be responsible for yourself. And do I agree with you in that they should try to do something? Absolutely. You made an investment in the man. You might want to fucking make sure you protect that investment. 100%. In the future, will they do that? I'm hoping so. You know what I mean? Because you've also got to take into account that we've never had a superstar like Jon Jones do what he's been doing, right? So they don't have any like previous case study. There's no other case study in another combat sport other than Mike Tyson. And boxing is rampant for being a wild fucking sport.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
that's kind of the thing that I mean, it's when you're looking at the sport objectively as businessmen, because this is what they're looking. They're not going, oh, I'm friends with Jon Jones. This is a business where they're going to potentially lose. Like, look at the UFC 200 buys. How many more buys would it have got if that main event would have happened? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You're talking a couple million or more. What was you going to say there? Sorry.
No, sorry. I had to cough my ass up. Oh, my bad.
Throw up then. I'm not going to lie, guys. I genuinely thought I was like, God damn, Eddie. Whiting all over the fucking computer and shit. Like, we don't need no Jon Jones over here.
Yeah, well, look. Yeah, I know. Now, look, man. We're going to learn from this a lot, right? And you know who everyone's going to be eyeing next? They're going to be looking at and not really fairly, but I think it's going to start being a thing. You know, when Conor McGregor started acting all crazy and jumping over the cage, everyone was like, "Is he Jon Jonesing?" Like, that was a verb.
Yeah.
Is he Jon Jonesing? And I'm sitting there going, "No, he's not. He's in Europe. He thinks he basically owns Europe as far as the combat sports scene is concerned, and he's probably a little coked out. Let the man have some fun." As soon as he jumped over the fucking cage, I'm like, "Oh God, Conor, dude, get the fuck out!" Now he got off scot-free off of that shit. Like, nothing happened to the man. Yeah,
but we've got to take into account the schematics around that one of the key factors was that the fight looked to have been stopped. That's why he jumped in the cage. Let's just point that out. The slapping of the official when it kind of went.
Yeah, that was fucked up. He tried to shove him off the cage.
That should have been something.
Yeah,
it was. We looked at, but the jumping in the cage, we have to just bear in mind the scenario and what actually happened. Fight ended.
Real quick, to not get off, to stay on Jon Jones still, but do we know the regs of that? Like who's allowed in the cage and when?
Apparently, well, when it comes to actually whilst the fight's actually happening.
Yeah. No. After, like, everyone thought it was over. Let's say a fight ends. Let's say a fight ends. Yeah.
The first people that are supposed to be in are supposed to be the doctors, I believe.
Sure.
They're supposed to check the fighters. Mm-hmm. Then it's obviously the cornerman or whichever one references. And I believe then it's kind of supposed to be family-esque members.
Okay, I'd love to know the specifics because he was neither.
That's what I believe to be the case. Do you know what I mean? But this is the thing though, and I'm going to go conspiracy on you. Sure. But how do we know that like Bellator just weren't like, if your guy wins, feel free to jump in there, because you've got to take that into account.
That's what I think happened though. That's exactly what I don't think it's conspiracy. I think that's what happened. Like, I legit goes, Scott Coker was probably like, "Oh, hey Conor, you're gonna be there, right?" Like, yeah. Hey man, whatever you want, drinks, food, front row seats, blowjobs, hand jobs. You want to come fuck my wife? Fine, fuck it, dude. Whatever you want. Like, you can do whatever you want. Like, oh, I'm just going to go support my guy and everything. No, whatever you want. You got free range. You own this bitch. Really? Yeah. All right. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. It's like, then he goes over, "Hey, D, I'm going to go to the car real quick. Be right back." All right.
Yo, hey, yo, whoa.
Just kidding.
Yo.
Oh, he's so offended.
Yo.
Anyway, I'm playing. All right, skip all that part. We'll black it out. All right, just censored.
Yeah, my guy.
That's some shit. Oh shit, these fights are wild. Oh, Mike, who fought again?
It was Charlie Ward who was in that fight.
Charlie Ward won the fight?
Was it Charlie Ward? Yeah, Charlie Ward, yeah, because it was the first time he'd won in like forever.
Oh, hey, motherfucker! Jumps over the fucking cage, slap, comes back. Oh shit, what did I do? Scott Coker's at home going, yes! Yes! They're all gonna be talking about us! Fuck yes! Yeah, fuck you, Dana! Fuck you, bro! He's not even our fighter, and he got eyeballs for us, bitch! Ha! That's exactly what happened.
I'm just going to throw something additional out there, by the way. Bellator 200, I believe, is the one that's going to be in London with the return of MVP fighting. Since 2016, he's been absent.
Oh, shit.
But I will say this. Bellator. It's UFC... what am I even talking about right now? It's Bellator 200. You're doing it in London, and you're still giving us 3 days tape delay.
Dude.
What the fuck?
Hilarious.
It's live stream it. Live stream it.
It's tape delay for us too.
Yeah, but yours is like a few hours.
Right. But here's my point. It says, who's it live for? Is anybody watching this live other than the people in the arena? Because then I don't give a fuck. I'm not watching it. Nope. I'm not watching it then.
It's just all in the arena. I just can't even get over that. But to wrap the Jon Jones thing up in a little bow and everything like that, I think there's a lesson to be learned, and I think this could have been prevented. In my honest opinion, I understand that, you know, Jon Jones is this, that, and the other, but I'm a strong believer in not necessarily redemption, but rehabilitation of a person. I do believe that there is bad people, but I think there's levels to it, and I don't think Jon Jones is an evil person. I think Jon Jones is a misguided person. I think the conversation about his management was very, very, very true. I think that the people he's had around him have been what's the word to use? They've been using him. I personally think Jon Jones could have been, per se, quote unquote, saved, but that's just my opinion. I hope that this is one of the things that we look at in 10, 15 years time, and we're looking at fighters not doing dumb shit like this. But then with the same thing said, when we were on the last show, as me and you pointed out, there's a part of it that this is not just a sport, this is sports entertainment. Because if people like Nick Diaz can be there with a blunt wrapper in his mouth, and that does more click views than the people winning the fights on the card, if we would talk more about Vadum throwing a fucking boomerang, Colby Covington, than tuning into, you know, a national or, you know, a regional tournament that's going on or anything like that with crazy knockouts and stuff, then a part of it is on us, yeah. But until we actually start like making these fighters actually realize that they are just fighters, and we can't just allow them to just be the wild, wild west of pride and everything like that and treat it as such, I don't think we'll ever see any change.
No way. And the last thing I'll say about Jon Jones is I don't think he's a bad person at all. I think he's a bad one in his body. I think he's just like you said, he's misguided, but I also think he's been treated a certain way his entire, like, not his entire life, but the last, like, okay, you know what they say when they say that, you know, a man's brain doesn't really fully develop until he's like 25, right? Something like that. That's like the theory, or I guess that's what they're saying. And then what I've heard in my life was like, yo, you're going to be the person you are at like 25, 26 years old. This guy was getting treated like he was royalty, and like his shit didn't stink as soon as he hit the UFC, right? So to me, he's a guy that thinks he can get away, that he thinks he legitimately can get away with whatever he wants. Now, is he stupid? Sure. Uneducated? Likely. Hell of a fighter? Absolutely. He's a genius when it comes to fighting. Not so much anything else. So I would expect him to, once USADA comes down with a hammer, because they're going to come down with a hammer more than likely, unless somehow something we don't foresee happens and USADA goes light on him, which I don't see happening at all. I think we've seen the end of Jon Jones at light heavyweight. I think we'll see Jon Jones attempt to make a comeback. If not, say, fuck it, I'm going to Japan where I don't have to listen to you fuckers, and fight at Ryzen, which honestly would only be his only option unless he has enough money saved up. We can be like, you know what, fuck yourselves, I'm out, I'm disappear, and he goes do something else.
I'm pretty sure he has the money to if he wants to just live comfortably. But
Right.
you're old when you know you can make an extra couple of million.
That's exactly why I wanted to do that. Right.
But to move forward, I really want to have this conversation with you. I know a lot of people have already spoke about it, but I just feel it's important to have the conversation. Jeremy Stevens and the finish at UFC Orlando this weekend. What is your final thought on the knockout, the finish of that fight? Because it was a great fight, I just like to add. So
I have to admit that I was wrong in my initial statement, which was that the knee didn't land. The knee touched it, so technically it landed. He hit with the knee twice, right, on the way in and on the way out. Okay.
The first one was unintentional, though.
Was it intentional?
It wasn't intentional because he was going in, so he caught him as he was just going in. The second one is he threw with the knee.
Okay, explain that, because I mean he threw a knee in and then it came back out. You talking about the way out? He hit him on purpose.
When the one where he waits for him and then he throws the knee was the second one, wasn't it?
I thought he only threw one knee at the end and he hit him in the head and he came back out.
Caught him with the knee when he came in to finish him at first, because some people were saying that was the only one that was unintentional.
I have to remember that. Okay, I think you're right. Whatever.
Here's the main one anyway, where he actually throws the knee. That's the one in question.
Now, that's okay. That's the one in question. And yeah, well, first of all, look, even the one that wasn't intentional is illegal. You touched. You're not supposed to do that, right? You're not supposed to throw knees to a down opponent. Now he was a down opponent. I believe his knees were down.
Yeah.
Right. That's down opponent right away.
Yeah. Okay? Even if you have one knee, even if you have one.
Right. And people were like, well, he didn't have his hands, both hands down. No, that only happens if you're on your feet and you try to do that one-handed bullshit that a lot of guys do. Both your hands have to be down. Both of them have to be down. If you're on your feet, you're on your knees, you're a downed opponent no matter what, right?
You can have no hands on there, and if you get
exactly. So any knee that makes contact on the head is illegal. So even if it was unintentional, illegal as fuck. Okay. So yeah, I was wrong. I thought it didn't land. Now would it have changed the outcome of the fight? Probably not.
But that's the thing. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter because it's illegal. So yeah, I think that, intent. Yeah, maybe he threw it on purpose. I don't know. But as far as the legality of it, where my opinion is more based off of it. It was illegal as fuck. And then he threw like 2 illegal elbows or 3 illegal elbows to the back of the head.
See, I wasn't so. I thought that there was only like. See, it's so hard to judge.
Let's see if I can pull out the finish on my phone right here.
It's really hard to judge with the back of the head thing, because I know that you're allowed to hit along there, but you're not allowed to hit the back of the ear. You can hit along the top bit though, because I remember the conversation about the Dustin Poirier knockout that Conor hit him with, and he hit him just above, like, and behind the ear, but he was above the ear, so that was okay apparently. But all I know is that 2 elbows that I thought was legal, and there was one that I didn't think that was legal. But that was just me. But
so he drops him. Sorry, he drops him. He's dropping ground and pound. Here comes a couple elbows. First knee was unintentional. There was only one knee, dude.
Oh, I thought there was one when he came in before he started the ground.
Let me make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the only knee. Yeah, no, there wasn't the first one. There was the only one that you're talking about. Yeah. I mean, he fucking. Look, man, he put his hand. Oh shit, he puts his hands on his head and throws it.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not he thought maybe he was confused with the rules, I thought the ref was confused with the rule too. I thought, which is even worse than Jeremy Stevens not knowing the rules, a ref not knowing the rule. I thought maybe he got confused in the rule. I think I haven't seen his explanation. Do you know he's explained why he did it?
Say that again. Sorry, I missed the last bit you cut out.
It's all right. Was he? Do you know if he explained why he threw that knee?
All I know is that he's from what I read, the rule that was explained to him wasn't explained the way that we said. It was the hands thing. So if he didn't have his hands down, if you lifted one hand up, you could throw the strike. That was what I can't remember who put that quote out. One MMA journalist put. I'm sorry, I can't credit you, but somebody said that they told Stevens that the ref told Stevens in the back that if the hands like a hand was up, if you pulled him up so he had one hand down but one hand were up, you could still throw the strike.
Oh, okay. I wonder if they mentioned the knees at all.
But that's the thing, though. You could throw that. If he's saying you can throw that strike if one hand is off, if you lift them up, then that means that the referee didn't understand the rule either.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. That's really bad. You're
That's
right.
not the first time he's done that referee either.
No, that's Dan Morigliata. That's Big Dan. That's a really good ref. I think he needs to get his shit together. But I think what I heard last. Oh shit.
You good?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. You good, Eddie?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me all right, dude?
Fuck, yeah. I don't know if I froze or you froze. I don't know what the fuck happened. Anyway, it's been a long day, man. What can I say? I think with Josh Emmett, like best case scenario, he can appeal it and get a no contest.
Yeah, that's the best that'll happen.
But Stevens will still get a big fight after this, right?
100%, because it's like the old Romero. We saw that Robert Whittaker the other night turned around and said, I'll face you in Chicago in June or July.
Yeah, June, I think.
But it said he'll fight him there and then, so... P.S. Luke Rockhold turning around and saying that he wants to fight Gustafsson after Gustafsson called him out. I'm down for that fight, dude.
Yeah, I'm down to watch that.
Down. I just hope that Gustafsson gets the win because I don't want to see like Rockhold just fly up the rankings and get a title shot within a week, which would make for interesting TV though, because him against DC would be fucking crazy.
Him against DC? What, Rockhold against DC?
Yeah.
And please believe they would do that. I believe they would. I totally believe they would fight each other.
I do as well, because obviously there was a little bit of back and forth between Rockhold saying that, you know, it didn't mean anything me training with Duke Rufus he trained with?
No. Henry Hoof.
Henry Hoof, sorry. Duke Rufus.
Henry Hoof. Down in Florida.
Additional to that, though, obviously when DC won his fight and he said about, you know, like Khabib's going to win his title and, you know, Kane's going to be back, he didn't mention Luke, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, well, you know, maybe because he's maybe technically not part of the team right now, so, or maybe he's like questionable whether or not he's part of the team. Yeah. All right. So just to like wrap up the whole Stevens thing in a little tight bow. We need to get the refs educated, right?
I think we just need to have one rule set. That's the biggest thing.
Right, that's the problem too. Every fucking fight's like, the state of whatever the fuck has not adopted the new unified rules. Why do they call them unified rules if they're not unified, by the way?
Exactly.
It's retarded. Anyway, so get that shit together, motherfuckers. Yeah. Other than that, look, man, Josh Emmett, I've never been convinced by, and I still not. So, what are you gonna do?
What did you think of that card overall, though? Just to kind of.
So it was solid, right? It was solid.
I thought there was a lot of fun fights on that card, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was pretty solid. I'm not mad at it at all. I thought who's the co-main?
The co-main was no, were it Mike Perry? No, who went Mike Perry? That was
that was hilarious.
Andrade and Torres.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good outing for Andrade. I had to give a lot of credit to Torres though for fucking like staying in there like that. The
thing was though is she as impressed as I was, she got ragdolled for the most part.
Oh, she got murked as far as like, dude, how many? Do you know she took her down? She wouldn't just take her down; she would lift her up and slam her down like 3 times.
Oh, she was fucking belly to belly suplexing her and all that good stuff. It was a good time.
Yeah, and I mean, look, not only that on the ground but on the feet. She Andrade landed 151 total strikes to her 88. 92 were significant to the 69 for Tisha, and Andrade landed an amazing 10 out of 12 takedowns on Tisha Torres. Okay?
You can stop it. There's only one woman we've seen stop Andrade from taking them down, and that's Joanna.
Yeah, Joanna. Yeah, and I wouldn't.
When you think about that.
Yeah, that is pretty fucking nuts. And then the fight before that, the Vincent Pruitt TV fight. Please believe I was happy as fuck for the TV. I was like, yeah, boy. Not to mention, you know, he didn't even like. Remember when we saw I forgot who got Misha Tate in the headlock and or a guillotine. Was it Manny Nunes? Nunes, right? And then Misha tried to walk up the cage. She's smart like that. Obviously, Pooh was right there, and I was like, "Walk up the cage, walk up the." And I'm sure he didn't even think about it. Plus, that's just tight, so you're not even thinking about that.
I think he rocked anyway. To be fair.
Oh yeah. But he didn't. Is it just me, or did he not fight the hands whatsoever?
No, because I think he was dead on his feet. I think he was out. I think he was like I don't think he even knew where he was. I think he was legit out on his feet. So.
And that makes sense. That makes sense. So big win for Latifi. I like that he called that DC, but too late. Too little, too late, Latifi. You should have done that shit. You should have had, maybe the last couple fights should have been huge wins, and you should have called out the champion. But it's a little bit too late. You're gonna have to wait till after the Stipe fight, and I'm not convinced DC's gonna still be fighting after that. So,
whatsoever.
Yeah. So he might fight for like a, against the new champion. I don't think he'll get a title shot right away off of this, but yeah. Mike Perry, Max Griffin, what'd you think?
What was really disappointing for me, I'm not a big Mike Perry fan. Everybody's been on his dick because he's been acting all crazy and pulling guys' trousers down, which is a bit stupid, but but the main thing that disappointed me for Perry was he did okay for the first couple of minutes of the first round. Then he kind of let Max Griffin get his way and get his pace and get his distance set. And then he let him pick him apart in the second round. And then the third round, Mike Perry actually started feinting more, mixing up his strikes a lot more. And it looked like he could have actually got the finish on Griffin. And I was like, that's all you have to do all the fight. That's all you have to do. You figured out the game plan too late. That was the problem. And I was kind of upset for Perry, but what a fucking soldier for just going out and just not quitting.
Yeah, and I thought he came on early in the fight and tried too hard to throw heat.
Yeah, sure.
I thought he should have worked his cardio a bit more, a lot more.
There was a lot of people though that you kind of saw and you thought these guys are going to get finished, like Ben Sanders against Joban. Like that was just a bloody murder.
Yeah, I honestly, I've been saying it for a while, and people get a little bit butthurt. I'm a fan of Ben Saunders because he's a jiu-jitsu, fucking 10th planet killer. But I don't think he has any business in the UFC anyway. But it's
not anymore, definitely not.
Especially not anymore. But I don't think he ever did. Joban's kind of like on his same level. Like I'm not a big. I don't think he's super great either. But it's a big win for him, and that's pretty good.
Gatekeeper.
Yeah. What else do we got on that?
Henan Barao.
Wait, Henan Barao ain't shit no more. You can let that one go.
I thought he got pieced up in that fight.
Well, dude, it was closer than I thought. It was closer than I thought. I really did. But that one takedown Kelleher got was pretty timely. That was I think it was like the perfect time. So, yeah, I thought it was closer. But I mean, they got the right winner. And then I was impressed by Marion Reneau, it's not Marion. She clearly fucking corrected everybody. Not Marion. Marion. Yeah. Marion Reneau. How do you say it?
Meow. I don't know.
Okay, Marion. Whatever. Her submission went over Sarah McMahon. It's hard to submit Sarah McMahon. I'm pretty sure. I remember correctly. It's pretty tough to get her.
Yeah, because she's usually the dominant, and she gets into that half guard and then works for the arm triangle.
Yeah, that first round she basically just hugged her, right? And the second round, Marion just caught her, and it was at game time. I was pretty impressed. I was impressed. By the way, it's like, yeah, hey, Mr. Reneau, I didn't do my homework. You do your homework, bitch? Come here, bitch. I'm putting you to sleep.
Can we just mention briefly, because before we continue about this, I just want to say how sick it was to see Paddy hit that flying triangle.
Bruh, I want to bring that up too. Fucking... I was out getting lunch when you told me about that. And you sent me the video, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck? That was sick!" Fucking, he pulls guard, but he doesn't pull guard until he's got that overhook on the one arm that he's gonna use, and then he pulls guard like a fucking G, gets his legs wrapped around him, and as soon as he gets that figure four behind the head, I was like, "Oh, just get that arm over, get it over, Patty!" And he fucking pulls it, tightens it up, tap.
And he catches the leg underneath, don't forget, as well.
Oh, yeah. He went under, right? Under with it?
Hooks underneath the leg, so the guy falls backward, takes the arm and cranks the arm outwards over his thigh as well. So it's like, you're going nowhere. You're sat on your ass. I've got the thing before. I'm cranking the arm. Beautiful. The second time he's done it in Cage Warriors also. So I'm really happy to get into win column again.
But the biggest winner, it has to be Molly McCann. That was awesome to see. I was like, I ended up watching the whole fight over again after the replay, and I was just like, wow, like you could tell every time she did anything, and her eyes was like she was doing this for a reason. Like nobody was gonna beat her that night.
Nope.
Nobody. Like this is her. Like she fucking like when she was told at media availability that she was the main event because the main event dropped out. And she got into tears immediately and started saying, like, I deserve this. Like, I don't want to sound like a poem, but I deserve this. Goddamn right she did. And she took advantage of it. And that was fucking awesome to see. I love seeing stories like that.
I'm just very happy for her because obviously she's, people. She's like a people's champ. She's one of the people. And she went out there and she put on a clinic. And, I was impressed with the finish. I'm looking forward to seeing more and more things. What was very interesting also just to point out was that Paddy Pimblett mentioned that Chris Fishgold was moving on to bigger and better things.
UFC.
Which means don't be surprised if Chris Fishgold will be on that UFC London card, maybe on the Fight Pass prelim main event, maybe, or maybe just on one of the starting fights in the prelims. But expect Chris Fishgold, pardon me, to be a part of the UFC in March, which is pretty cool. And it also is really good for Paddy also, so he doesn't have to do that stupid weight cut. He can fight at 155 and, be healthy. And I'm just very happy that I spoke to him briefly afterwards. And, obviously he was really pumped and really happy. But he's got that confidence back, which I'm happy about. And he's got that focus back, which a lot of people questioned him whether he still had. So shout out to Next Gen from Liverpool. Their gym's tearing it up. One guy just going into the UFC. One of them's a champion now and the first flyweight champion in Molly McCann, and Paddy's back into winning ways. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up. Just want to give a shout out to the sponsor, starting off with Receptra for all your CBD needs, whether it be oils, topicals, all that good stuff. Go to receptranaturals.com. That's RECEPTRA, naturals.com. If you're in the United States, use the code with the heel hook, all one word, get 10% off all your CBD needs. If you're in anywhere else outside of the United States, drop them a message on Twitter at Receptra Naturals, and they'll sort you out and they'll figure out how to send you it with no extra charge. Additional to that, guys, make sure you check out bainstore.com for all your jiu-jitsu and athletic needs. So if you're going to be training in any form of combat sports, or even if you just want to go for a little run, they've got hoodies, rash guards, spats, all that good stuff. And if you're into your jiu-jitsu and all the art that comes along with it, you can see artwork inspired by it that you can get in all forms, whether it be in paintings, canvases, mugs, t-shirts, and all that good stuff. So go to bainstore.com. That's BAIN store.com. Use the code word, the heel hook, 10% off your entire order. Where can they catch you, Eddie?
You can find me on Twitter at Elo31, on Instagram at Keyboard Warriors MMA. Same for the website, keyboardwarriorsmma.com. You check out all the podcasts and everything. We'll be back tomorrow night with Keyboard Warriors. So tune in, bitches.
Yeah. You can find me at Ashley Lamprey. That's ASHLEYLAMPREY on Instagram and also on Twitter. You can also find me at Just Ask Official on Snapchat. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And also, if you're on Apple, then use iTunes, and it's the Heel channel. And also on SoundCloud, it is the Heel channel. So subscribe to either one of those, depending on which one you want to use. So you can listen to these back. If you missed anything, you can use these so that you can watch wherever you may be traveling to. Additional to that, you can also find us at the Heel channel _ on Twitter. So give us a little follow, my guy. There's going to be loads of new content coming out. Me and Eddie will be doing another episode of Triggered in the next couple of days. We'll be talking about all the randomness and craziness that's going on this little moldy rock of ours. So from me and Eddie, thank you for joining in. Whether you're a lover, a fighter, or a hater, peace up. A-Town down.